Hello YouTube, welcome to my channel. So today I picked up this, it's called a Cricket TOW HOE. It's a excavator. This thing's supposedly made in Canada, Quebec or something. Give you a better view. I'll probably have a better view of it outside working. I picked it up really cheap, another Facebook marketplace. Get you a little closer into it. There's some issues with it. I mean, it does work, it does run, it does move, it drives. I'll address some of the issues, and I might have some questions. This is, I guess, compared to the Harbor Freight, same thing, towable backhoe. I don't know anything about it, and I've never used one before in my lifetime. So this will be a fun project. The guy that helped me get this actually broke the pieces for the ball hitch there. I'll have to replace that. That's the minor problems. So let's see, where do I start? Well, as far as the problems that I can see, a lot of them are minor. Some maybe a little bigger than others. Minor ones, the gas hose was leaking a little bit when it was on, leaking a little bit of gas down there, as you can see. I pretty much drained all the gas. Now I'm inside. I don't want it to smell like gas everywhere. But anyway, that's, the start of it. You can see the cushion. Looks like it's a now, I don't know. This guy bought it from somebody else, so who knows? They might have just used it to get by. I'm going to try to see what I can do to fix it up and clean it up a little bit. There's the pump. There's the filter, a hydraulic filter. As far as the seat, the guy made this. The guy made this. It's basically missing the seat. So we need a seat. This is fiberglass. The guy did that. Said about putting a cushion on. Well, we'll get something a little bit better than that. All right, moving on. The levers, again, everything works. Nothing seems like it leaks. Or as far as the hydraulics go, I think this cylinder may be leaking a little bit because it's very wet down there. I'm not exactly sure though. That I'll know in the future. If it does, I'm sure I can probably pop it out and get a seal kit and replace the seals. This looks like this was kind of rigged up there because one of the bolts is a little on the crooked side right here. Looks like it's bent. I don't think that's supposed to be there. Somebody did something here. I just don't know exactly what yet. Something broke and somebody tried to fix something. The oil or the hydraulic fluid, the gauge seems like it works. You can see through that. And there's the bottom cylinder. So the first thing I noticed was some of these, well, a lot of the bolts were loose. When I went farther on, and I just started doing some looking around and stuff like that, I'm noticing, I don't know if it's just me or, okay, so let me give you an example. If you look here, this looks like this has got to be, it's got a Zurich for grease. Okay, it looks like a grease fitting there. Well, it looks like, okay, so that plate looks great. It looks like we're going there. But then I've got these plates, and it looks like somebody either cut them off and welded them. Same thing with this plate. Or was it never supposed to be on there? I see that sealed. I see there's a grease fitting here. So I guess that would grease that. I mean, if that, same thing with the grease fitting here. Because if you see, some of these just look like, again, like it was welded. They look like they're welded shut. And like, I mean, again, I could put on a lathe, I could turn them, face them, and just drill a thing in there. But if I don't need it, I don't need it, obviously. Again, I don't know anything about this machine, so I have no idea. So the bigger issues that I did notice, though, if you see these, they all have these fittings, and these are, again, well, look at that. That's even loose. And I think, again, a lot of these bolts were loose. Anyway, these grease fittings, as you can see all the grease and everything else, well, that might be from the cylinder leaking, but here's one issue. See how this has a cap here? And again, all the other sides have a cap. This one does not. And that is rubbing and banging. So that is an issue. That is the first thing I have to address before I do anything. Guy said he doesn't know when the hydraulic fluid changed. So that's the other thing I'm going to address. The teeth don't look the best either, but again, I don't have major things I got to do. This, yeah, see how that's like loose there? I mean, a lot of these were like really loose to where, like, you know, I could tighten them. Get a wrench. Hand tighten them, and then I just thought they were stripped. But when I tighten them up, they will tighten. I know this is not the proper way to do it. I'm sorry. I'm just holding the camera here going freehand, and I mean, it doesn't matter. Yeah, see, it's getting tight. I'm going to have to take this off anyway, because I'm going to have to make one of these. I'm going to have to figure it out, see what's involved. So I guess because this one's being held on by this side, I guess I'll attempt to take this one off. See, here's another one, or I could even take that one off. But they all look to be about the same, except on this side has two big cotter pins and two big cotter pins. But they didn't do that down here unless that was a cap that's just missing. Now it looks like a pin is sheared off. I don't know if you can see the difference right there, but it looks like a pin was sheared off. So my first thing to do would be knocking that out of there. But other than that, I mean, other than there's a little bit of movement there, a little bit there, minor things. I'm not going to be doing a lot of heavy work. Most of these look pretty good. This side, you know, it's been sitting outside for a while. Some of these things look, you know, if anybody sees anything doesn't look right, let me know. Again, it's a used old machine. This was, again, I go back to about 1985 they made these. Cricket, you can see. I guess the tank's in there. Some of them have higher seats. This one's a little bit lower. Most of it's just surface rust. I mean, I'll clean it up. I do, there is a couple things I'd like to add that I do see some other people use. I won't do it right now, but I'd like to add a thumb on the front of it. You know, it would be nice to put a thumb on there. Obviously, I'm going to clean everything up and paint it. But my other thing that I want to do that I've seen some other people do to make it easier to use is these outriggers that go in the front, they drill holes in the top and mount wheels up this way. Trying to get an idea. I don't know if I have any. No, I don't have any wheels. Anyway, to give you an idea, like the wheel would be mounted on this side over here. And basically meaning when you want to, you can put this side down and it would be digging in the ground. But if you want to move it, then you just put this on the opposite side, turn it upside down, and now you can roll with all four wheels. If you're going through, I got a big backyard. Well, I don't have a big compared to a lot of farms, stuff like that, but it's a little, it's got a little bit decent size, so it might be easier to move it that way. I'm going to try to move this with my mower. I shouldn't have a problem. It's just a regular Craftsman, but I made it into electric, which is what I think I will probably end up doing with this thing too. I will probably yank this motor. It's only a 6 horsepower. And put a little electric motor on there, make a coupler, and yeah, have this thing like electric. I'm not sure yet if I want to go with maybe like a 110 volt motor and like a inverter and stuff, because I have those parts. Or if I just want to go with, like, I do have a treadmill motor that I can use any voltage for as much as the RPMs I need. You know, I don't know. I'm just trying to think of different ideas. Right now, they're the least of my problems, but I do want to get rid of gas. I do not like, nothing against gas. I had racing cars when I was younger, Barracuda, stuff like that. Just not into it anymore. There's the tag, if you can see that, where it was kind of made and stuff like that. Everything's all dirty. I'm going to try to clean things up, kind of as a model number. I've never seen, I've seen a lot of Harbor Freight. See, here's another one. But see, the more and more I'm looking at it, every spot where it's like welded and sealed, there's a fitting somewhere. Same thing over there. Now down there, there's just a fitting. Up here, it's off, but then I see, well, I don't see one there, unless it's on the other side, maybe. So, goes up, man. So I guess the first thing that I have to address, see, I honestly think it's like this side because how these are like that. So I'm thinking they're going to match. That's just this one's a little different. See, that doesn't have the oil fitting. These have the oil fittings in there, just like that one. Then on this side, you know, like, yeah, it definitely had some because there's a huge space in there. So I'm going to see if I can make up a cap. See, I guess I'll have to clean that up and see what that is. Because whatever that is the same thing supposed to be over here. Maybe it's just supposed to be a cap over it and it takes up the space. Because if that's the issue, I can make something. I can make it in brass. I can make it in bronze. I can, you know, I'll put it on my lathe. I can do whatever with that. Same thing on that side. Up here. But other than that, just a lot of surface rust. I think these are 3-inch. They look like they got extra plates in a lot of spots. I don't know if this is factory or if somebody did this after the fact to get some more strength out of it. It's in the locked position now. And if you move that, it'll be able to, you can move the boom side to side. And it's got to get some cleaning up. So, but anyway, that's the TOW HOE digger. I've seen some, yeah, this thing's just loose. Actually, that looks like the cylinder might have twisted or something, or that's on an angle. I don't know. It doesn't even look right. That's coming off of this tube. Yeah, again, a lot of cleaning up and stuff. I mean, the cylinders, a lot of them, at least they don't seem like they're leaking now. Well, I'll go around, grease everything up. You know, I'll go over everything again. Probably put a little, like, orange mark or something on it. I'll probably go with like a Kubota orange or something like that. I guess I could always keep it yellow. Doesn't matter. Just something to basically clean it up. Anything will be better than now. But I'm not really worried about the cosmetics that much. I do have things I got to dig out. But the first thing I probably will do is change the filter, change the fluids. I don't know. I guess what do you got to do? You got to suck it out of the tank or push it out? I don't know. Figure it out. I've been reading it. It seems like it's 3.5 gallons of 32 hydraulic oil. I don't know. Anyway, now I'm just babbling. But, I mean, it is pretty much full, I think, in there. If I can find a light. Let's see if I got a light over somewhere. Got any lights here? You know, here's a light. That one work? Possibly. Maybe. Ah, there we go. I got light. Let's see. I don't know if you can see in there or not. It looks like there's yeah, there's stuff in there. Yeah, it's in there. I guess I can always get a wire tie or something. Let's see what I got here. Oh, that one. Make sure this is all nice and clean. Yeah, dirt around it. Yeah, a little low. All right, there we go. Barely. So you're down. Yeah, not that much. All right, she's going to be getting filled up. Oh, like I said, I'm going to change it anyway, so. Yeah, again, the biggest thing is going to be cleaning a lot of things. I know that's it's a vented cap. Make sure that, but turn that off. Yeah, all the you know, handles seem like they were, I don't know. Again, it seemed like it worked fine, so he did a nice little demonstration for me before I picked it up, and yeah, it dug a nice hole. It picked up itself, no problem. It was just, you know, the engine was actually quiet. I was surprised. It started up pretty quick, and yeah, showed me how it works. So anyway, stay tuned for some videos. Again, I'm not sure what this is called. Anybody has any suggestions, tips, anything? This is laying on the ground. This way, I heard that this way you're helping the hydraulics. It's not keeping pressure, just like my cart is lowered to the ground. But this is the way I did this to, bring it in here, so it does move up. It's not that bad. I think it weighs about 1370 or something. I thought I read or something. I'm not sure. A little bit thicker than the Harbor Freight, maybe not. Probably the same exact thing. As you can see, it's definitely weather. A lot of people don't realize when they put things away in the wintertime, and what they'll do is they'll put a tarp over it, and then they won't understand why everything's all rusted and everything gets damaged or anything. Like this guy had a tarp over it. Well, the problem is that you're keeping moisture in, and the seasons, any bit of moisture, it's just going to start to rust. If you want to do that, that's fine. Just get some WD-40 or rust inhibitor or something. Just spray it over everything. It's not going to hurt anything. Better to throw more. I know like Musty One and stuff. He uses chainsaw oil and regular oil or whatever it is. I mean, anything that's a lubricant, anything that'll keep it, and this way you won't have problems like this. I mean, this just might be just sunbeam and all the rust, but again, that's all just cosmetic. I'm not worried about it. My biggest thing is as long as everything's going to work okay and it's going to run right. And again, I don't know. I think this pin is supposed to move around to this hole. I thought for a while, I'm not sure, maybe I'm wrong. No, because there's nothing on the bottom. So there might be some reason for that. I'm not really sure. Like I said, never really had one before, so this is all new to me, and I will be learning. So anyway, I won't babble anymore. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for some videos. I guess first I'll be making that little piece and cleaning this thing up, and we'll change the fluids, we'll get a demonstration, we'll dig something up, and we'll see what happens. We'll have a bunch of fun. So yeah, you can see some of the hoses need to be addressed. Not really the hoses, but I just want to put some kind of covers or something on them to help them out. Everything's just falling apart. I'll use some of that stuff from Harbor Freight, I forget what it's called now, it's like hides the wires and stuff. It's got like ribs on it and stuff like that. But I'll use some of that to protect everything. But here I am just babbling on. Alright, well anyway, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. I hope everyone is safe and well. And I will see you on the next video. Take care, everyone.